All right, we're recording. This is Josh Rackless for the Josh Rackless Show, or whatever I'm calling this. And with me, I've never said your name out loud. Is it Helena Alexis?
Helena Alexis.
Ah, man.
You were close.
I knew it was 50-50 there.
Yeah.
And so, yes, so I guess my shirt is sweaty. That's great. I just walked over here. It's very hot out. And we just met. We, being the royal we, met Helena here at Kettleman's Bagels. They're not really a sponsor. Well, in a way, they're letting us sit here. So we'll call them a sponsor.
Why not?
Now I sound official. I should have said they were my sponsor. Nuts. So I learned something about interviewing this week where I was listening to a podcast yesterday where this guy was teaching another guy how to do interviews. And he says he's researched interviews, and he says his favorite interviewer is Howard Stern, and Howard Stern, I think maybe does a lot of research on people, but he said the other way to interview people is like what Larry King did, in which he doesn't do any research at all. He just likes to learn about the person at the same time as the audience is learning about the person. And the guy I was listening to says, I don't like that at all, but clearly it did okay for Larry King. He had a good career, and so that's what I'm doing. And that's usually what I do. I don't know who I'm talking to or what's going on, but I just wing it because why not? It's fun that way. Is my theory. So we're going to be learning all about you at the same time as I'm adjusting my microphone and everything. Have you ever been interviewed before?
Yeah, many times.
Oh, okay. I was hoping this was the first time, and then whatever I do, I could be like, no, that's totally how things are done. So maybe you can teach me a little bit. So this is kind of my podcast. And also my YouTube show. So the video will be on YouTube, and then the podcast will be on all of the podcast apps. So that's fun. You're going to be seen everywhere. And this is the second interview I've done at Kettleman's, and it's fun here. Last time they turned off the music on the patio, but now they don't even have music, so it's working out perfect. So you're a famous actress from Los Angeles. And you happen to be here in Ottawa shooting a movie, is that correct?
Correct, yeah. I'm filming a movie for Hallmark called Feeling Butterflies.
Oh, see, this is brand new that I've heard about it as well. Before you didn't tell me, I didn't know if it was top secret or whatever.
No, that's fine.
Feeling Butterflies. Oh, I get it, like feeling butterflies in your stomach.
Right, exactly. It's a romance.
And it's like a Hallmark type of movie?
It's a Hallmark romance, yeah.
Wow, and does it take place in the winter?
No, it's a summer movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
So I know sometimes they shoot things here and then they just blast fake snow everywhere.
No.
But no, not Christmas themed.
No.
So it'll be out, I think they churn these things out pretty fast, right? Like they shoot it in the fall and it's on for Christmas, so.
Right, exactly.
Are we gonna see this like in the summer?
Maybe. I'm guessing September. So maybe late summer, early fall.
Okay. I don't like to think about fall. I like to pretend that that's never coming again.
Agreed.
But I don't know if you can really sort of agree and complain because you're living in Los Angeles, so there is no fall really. It's just slightly less summer.
We do get some breeze in the winter, and it rains a little bit.
Oh, breeze!
Like
oh my God, that sounds awful. Can you imagine?
Like a chill breeze.
A chilly breeze. So basically, like if somebody turned on the air conditioning for a minute, like ooh.
Yeah, that's our winter.
God, when I was shooting videos this summer or this winter in Ottawa, like I'd be like, I want to film the skaters on the canal. I would take off my glove for a second. I'm like, and then my hand was in pain, like knives were going through it. Yeah. And I'd put my glove back on. I got back home and it's like in the shower and it's like I've got no feeling in my hand. That's the kind of chilly breeze we have here.
Yeah, not that much
that is
in LA.
Ridiculous. But you're Canadian?
I am Canadian, yes.
Okay, so then, so how did all this happen? So you're like in Los Angeles, but then you came back to shoot a Hallmark movie in Ottawa. Mm-hmm. But it's not even a winter scene. But I guess they shoot things here because it's cheaper to shoot in Canada.
That's it, exactly, yeah.
And even cheaper in Ottawa, I guess.
Right, and plus Ottawa has this little town outside of it called Almont, and so that's where the movie's being filmed because the lead is from this small town, and Almont's perfect for that.
Oh, very well. Every Hallmark lead is from a small town.
Exactly.
Let me guess. Is she coming back to the small? Well, okay, so she left the small town to be like a powerful corporate woman, but there's some kind of crisis either with the company or at home that she has to return to and probably fix something for the company, but also maybe something with her relatives is happening in the small town that she needs to help out with.
That's typical, but that's not what's happening for this
Oh my God.
She's actually born and raised in the small town.
Right. Yeah. No, I think, but usually they are, but then they go back home to the small town.
She
hasn't even left.
She hasn't left the small town.
Oh my God, that's
No.
new. I've never heard about that.
I know, right? This is new, yeah.
Wow, and what is your role in the movie?
Well, without giving away too much, I am not from the small town. I'm from New York, so I'm the one that's coming from the big city to visit
Aha.
my boyfriend in the small town.
I knew there was somebody coming from the big city.
That's me.
Okay. But yeah, I was going to say maybe you're the villain, but...
Well, somewhat.
Somewhat, but nobody's ever really much of a villain.
No, I'm an unaware villain. So yes, I'm the villain, but I don't know about being the villain as my character.
You don't even know you're the villain?
Right.
Wow.
But I am the twist in the story.
Oh my gosh! Well,
Yeah.
that's very exciting. That's
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
And I was listening to some other podcast. I forget which one it was, but we were talking about how. Oh yeah, it was a political podcast this week, talking about how people never really know that they're the villain in their own lives. Like even criminals and stuff, they justify it and stuff, and then even if you're sabotaging your own life, you're like, no, it's everybody else's fault. So that sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
And what part of Canada are you from originally?
I'm actually born and raised in Cornwall, Ontario, just an hour away from Ottawa.
Oh yeah, I hadn't been to Cornwall until very recently. My uncle worked there when I was a kid or something, so I heard of it. But then I met somebody from around there a couple years ago, and I was around there, and it's a cute little town.
It's cute, but I'm happy to be out of there.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that the Cornwall film industry is huge.
It's zero.
Zero,
Yeah.
so okay, the opposite of that.
Right.
And it's also chilly.
Yes.
So you're born in Cornwall.
Yes.
So here, let me tell you about my podcast, what
Okay.
it's about.
All right.
Nothing. I have no idea what my podcast is about. It's just been a sort of an excuse for me to talk to people who otherwise wouldn't talk to me. But I'm thinking maybe I should have some kind of focus. I mean, I did some interviewing of celebrities on red carpets, and that's just like a brief thing, like tell me about your movie. And then this thing, I guess it's the same kind of thing, learn about your life. But I was thinking on the walk here, like there's maybe three things a podcast can be. Kind of like just entertainment, like raw comedy, we're joking around, or kind of learning, like, I'm learning about history, that's kind of fun. Or like self-improvement learning, like I'm learning how to, I don't know, make $1 million or become an actress or whatever. So maybe as we learn about your life, people can get little tips on like, maybe that's how I could leave my small town and become an LA actress who plays a New York woman back in her small town that she left originally, kind of thing. It's all circular. So that's what
exactly.
we're doing here. So okay,
Right on.
so you start in Cornwall, and then what happens?
And then in grade 12, my family moved to Ottawa. So I actually have family here in Manotick.
Okay, so Ottawa is like, what is it, like 45 minutes from Cornwall? Half an hour?
It's an hour.
It is a solid hour.
Yeah, it's an hour.
That's right. That's why that girl never visited me or anything. Okay. All right, but it's still kind of,
Yeah.
like in LA, an hour would be just the neighborhood over. kind of
Right,
thing.
that's true, actually.
Yeah. So, all right, so you moved to Ottawa as a kid.
Yep. And then
This was grade what?
grade 12.
Okay. So right after. I guess-
Like middle of my grade 12 year.
Okay.
Yep.
Why suddenly you're like, we're packing up, we're out of here?
My family's business just decided to expand from Cornwall to Ottawa, and it just happened to be in the middle of my grade 12 years, so I just had co-op to do. So I co-opted at our family business and did English online, so then I graduated with my school in Cornwall. And it was all a surprise, because when I left Cornwall, my friends thought I was gone for good, but when I showed up at prom, they were like, "Oh, you're back." I'm like, surprise!
Back for the prom.
Back
It's
for
not
the prom.
Not moving back. Let's everybody
No.
calm down.
Yeah,
But they thought they'd literally never see you again.
Exactly.
And and maybe that, and you were probably thinking, maybe good. Why would I ever come back here? But
Yeah.
no, well that's cool. You're the big shot from Ottawa, the big star coming back for prom.
Yeah,
Were you
yeah.
were you voted like prom queen or something?
We didn't have any voting for anything.
Yeah, they probably still don't do that. Sounds like politically incorrect to do that. Like somebody's gonna be hurt or something.
Yeah, but I wish they did. I thought that would be fun.
Yeah.
I even brought a rent-a date. So I brought one of the model friends that I have. So I had this really hot date for prom.
Oh my God! See, this is like a movie. Like that's everybody's dream to just bring the model over and be like,
Yeah.
this is my date.
Yeah.
Who is
Had
that?
the hottest picture.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! I
Yeah.
should have done that. I went with my friend Peter. His sister dropped us at prom,
Okay.
and that was it. It didn't even occur to me to rent a date.
Yeah, I didn't pay him. He's a buddy of mine, but
Yeah, whatever. Just
basically a rental.
find the hottest friend you know and be like,
Exactly.
you're coming
That's
with me.
exactly what I did.
Oh my God, very smart.
Yeah.
So so you got good social cred for that. Everybody's like, oh God, I wish she hadn't come back. Now she's making us all look bad. And then what happened? Okay, so you went to prom.
Yeah. So I've been acting though since I was 10 years old. So although I was in Cornwall, I was going at auditions in Toronto and Montreal. And my first commercial was when I was 10 years old for a cereal brand called Post Golden Raisin Crisps.
Toast
And
Golden Raisin Crisp.
they don't
Okay.
exist anymore,
Yeah.
but that was my first commercial.
We
And
won't
then-
blame you for it.
Yeah, no.
I've been in some cereal commercials as well. And the items don't exist anymore, so it's not our fault.
Right. And then I booked a big movie which plays every Christmas called Diva's Christmas Carol, which I played Vanessa Williams in a flashback.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so that was my big first movie. And Kathy Griffin was in it, Chili from TLC, Duran Duran, like
What?
a lot of big stars. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's my childhood flashing by here.
Yeah.
I slow danced in grade 6 to Hungry Like the Wolf.
Right on.
Do you want to hear a funny, quick story?
Sure.
Okay, so it was that song playing, and I didn't have anyone to dance with, so the cutest girl in the school, I think it was Leela, she came over and pulled me to dance with her, and I'm like, oh my God. But I'd never danced with a girl before. So she puts her hands on my shoulders,
Yeah.
and so what you're supposed to do is a guy, you put your hands on her girl's hips. I didn't know that, so I put my hands on her shoulders, and she's like, oh, and she takes my hands and puts them onto her little hips, and I'm like, ah!
It's happening.
Yeah, and then in the middle of the song, she's like, oh, my parents are here to pick me up, I gotta go by. So now I'm standing alone on the dance floor, like, and that's basically it. That was the peak of my life. It was all downhill from there, so. That was my Duran Duran song, so now whenever I hear that Duran Duran, I'm like, ah!
Flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's out there still. Anyways, okay, so, all right, so you're in this Duran Duran movie, very exciting. Diva's Christmas?
Diva's Christmas Carol, yeah. Still
Okay.
plays every Christmas on BET and VH1.
And you know when it runs, do you get a little check in the mail?
I do.
All right,
Yeah.
so you get the resids. That's,
Yeah.
that's how you do it, kids. Getting something that's going to play forever, and then you're good.
You're good.
Yeah, just like be Harrison Ford, be in Star Wars and Indiana Jones, and you're okay forever.
That's it.
All right, so then, well, that's pretty cool. And that's shot in Toronto or Montreal?
That was shot in Montreal, actually. Yeah.
Very French. So
Yeah.
for those of you around the world, Montreal is like an hour and a half from Ottawa, and it's in Quebec, which is French. So it's kind of the cool city in Canada, kind of European. Everybody's good looking.
Yeah.
So your little rent-a-date plan might not have worked as well there. They'd be like, oh, whatever. Who's this ordinary-looking supermodel you brought? You know,
Yeah. And then
Cool.
after that, I booked a TV series on HBO Canada called The Line.
Called what?
The Line.
The Line?
The Line. Yeah, it's about
Okay.
drugs and cops.
Oh, I
and-
think I've heard about that. Is
It
that?
actually replayed 2 years ago.
Huh.
I watched it again. I was like, oh, it's back.
Ah,
Yeah.
some more little checks in the mail.
Some more checks in the mail.
All right. And so that's kind of cool. And that shot where?
That was in Toronto.
Okay, so cool. So now you're going to all the big cities,
Yeah.
shooting around. So
Yeah.
how did you get an agent in the? I guess where was your agent? And they were
So
working
I'm
hard.
represented by AMTI, which is Angie's Models and Talent Inc.
Yeah.
And my parents own the agency. So
Oh, okay.
I've got the hookup.
All right, so it's, this is like the twist in the podcast, where now you have to go back and listen to everything that came beforehand, put it in a different frame of
Right.
mind.
So saying how my parents moved their business, it was their model and talent business. So we started in Cornwall and we expanded to Ottawa.
Okay.
Yeah. And they also have an agency in Toronto.
Yeah, they do, but it's more like a AMTI Toronto kind of thing.
Right. My
But-
brother runs that.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
All right. So is your mom Angie?
My mom's Angie.
Oh my God!
Surprise.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God. This is all so. Okay. I would if I could just pause this for a minute. I won't pause, but I'm having a mental pause. I'm having a Joe Biden moment here. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, my little Angie story is that in December, I was, I'd been in Ottawa for COVID for a while, and I was like, I just, I feel like doing something interesting or whatever, and so I emailed Angie's Talent just saying, hey, I don't know if you'd ever need like an ACTRA member for like extra work or something, and she emailed back saying, yeah, you want to be a cop in like a movie on Friday? I'm like,
Oh, wow.
okay, so
Perfect.
so yeah, I did it, and I was like, oh my God, it's that easy, and I was going to make a YouTube video, how to get an agent, and it's like just email someone and ask.
That's it,
It's not
really?
always, I guess, but I guess it kind of is that.
Yeah.
So I guess I work. We both have the same agent.
There you
really,
go.
is what's going on here.
Yeah. Small world.
Yeah, possibly the same mother. We don't know what's going on. No, probably not. But I'll talk to my mom and ask what's going on. My mom should start a talent agent. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is all making more sense now, because I was like, in Cornwall, how do you get an agent, and then how are you getting sent to Toronto and Montreal, and
This is it.
and then how do you still have the same agent now? None of it makes any sense. Okay, so my mind is blowing up. So what was? I mean, you just said the film industry is zero in Cornwall. So
Right.
what was she doing starting an agency there? Like,
It wasn't an agency at first. I was super shy. She actually got inspired from me. So I was super shy as a child, And going on stage, I started with dancing and beauty pageants, and she noticed how I became more confident by being on stage. I just felt like a different person. And she's like, what if I just taught girls like how to be on stage and how to model and how to like just charm and etiquette, like set the table and do their makeup and give them confidence that way.
Yeah.
So it started just as like a little charm and etiquette modeling school, and slowly over years she developed it into an agency, but that wasn't her intention. It was kind of accidental.
Oh, wow. See, that's cool, because that's what I've been learning in all my entrepreneurship podcasts lately, how you don't have to know what something's going to become to start. Like the only way to learn something, there's all these big entrepreneur podcasters now that started out doing a cooking blog, and then people are like, oh, how do you make money from a blog? Oh, let me teach you how to make money, and then become a blog expert, and then a money expert, and a business expert. So so she started a little school, and then becomes an agency, and then moves. So you don't have to know 10 steps ahead. Just start doing whatever you're doing and see where it goes.
And in my dance school, Ryan Gosling went there because he's from Cornwall.
What?
And she discovered Ryan Gosling.
This is, my brain is exploding again.
Yeah, so she hooked him up with the Mickey Mouse Club, and then he went off to Los Angeles and did more like Young Hercules and all those things. But it's because of her.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Now I can put Ryan Gosling in the description of this podcast, and it's gonna get like somewhere. Oh my! Tag him. He's not really a social media guy. I feel like he's not on.
No, but you never know.
He's like Jennifer Lawrence. Like it's like I would tag her, I would message her, but there's just never.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Beyonce's on social media, but she never messages me back.
No.
Anyways, okay. So I did not know he was from Cornwall. I
Yeah.
guess I vaguely knew he was Canadian because it's like the two Ryans, they're Canadian.
Right.
But I never thought about where he was from.
Yeah.
That's insanity.
We're both from there.
And your mom discovered him?
Yeah, from my dance school.
There was a Cornwall dance school?
Our recital. Yeah.
Just the little Cornwall recital, and it's just like, who's that little boy?
Exactly. She couldn't take her eyes off of him because he was so amazing. He was doing like all these amazing like Michael Jackson moves and his MC Hammer pants. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's how he got to Mickey Mouse Club, because he sang, he danced, and then he learned how to act. But he didn't really want to act at first. He was just into singing and dancing.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. It's like, there's so many people who want to act. He's like, I don't even really want to, but if I have to win an Oscar, if I have to be a Hollywood star.
That's it. And so La La Land, when that came out, finally he got to show his singing and dancing skills.
Right. So probably everybody assumed, oh God, this actor is now being like a singer-dancer. But it was the reverse. He's a singer-dancer.
Always a singer-dancer.
Kind of like Hugh Jackman. I think he was a musical theater guy and then started acting and whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm trying to incorporate this all into my head. So how did she, would she send like a tape of him to LA to say, here, you can be on your little Disney show? Or?
Well, from my dance recital, she went and spoke to his parents, and she's like, yo, I do little fashion shows for my modeling school. How about you sing and dance at the intermission and stuff? So that's how it started with him now becoming part of our agency, or school back then. And then there was a phone call from Disney. My mom used to work at the unemployment office, so somehow they got her number and they called her up, and they're like, do you have any kids that sing and dance? And so she did send a video of him and someone else, and he got chosen. He booked it.
What, Disney randomly called your mom saying, do you have anybody who can sing and dance?
Yeah.
Why would they do that? Why are they like, we're in Hollywood. Does anybody know if there's a school in Cornwall?
I have no idea. This is my mom's magical power. People just find her. So we also got how she became a school into an agency. The president of the International Model and Talent Association, which is in New York and Los Angeles, called her, discovered her, and said, we have a convention in New York. Would you like to attend with some of your models? And she's like, okay. And so there were a bunch of agents there that scouted our girls and who went off to model in New York and Paris. And then because of that, she's like, okay, I guess I'm an agency now. So that's how she transitioned.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It all just happens. When it's meant to happen, the right people will come into your life. You know?
Yeah, that's what I feel. I feel like, because lately I've been thinking, if I haven't made it big or done whatever I want to do yet, it's like, no, it's too late, there's no point. But I think you just keep moving and you see what happens, and it can happen at any time.
Exactly, and the right people will find you.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's crazy.
Wow, there was something about, what was I listening to? Another podcast. Yeah, it was last week. She was talking about just projecting your light, your energy into the world. She keeps telling the story about how producer Brian Grazer met Ron Howard, and he just yelled to him and said, I'm going to come to your office and talk to you. And he was just giving off this light, this energy that people started finding him and coming to him and whatever. And that's just what you got to do. She was talking about how when you're in a positive headspace and feeling good, you're actually literally radiating energy that attracts other people, kind of thing. It's a different space. So that clearly your mom is just, it's working over the airwaves.
Yeah, totally.
That's insanity. Okay, so then, So she said, yeah, so does she still get residuals for Ryan, or I guess she's moved on?
Because she was a modeling school back then, so she wasn't officially an agency. So when he went to the Mickey Mouse Club, that's basically when she lost him.
Oh man, see, this should have been like a Jerry Maguire kind of thing. She's like, you're my one client, this is it, we're building the agency around you kind of thing. And it's like, huh.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
All good.
That's fine. She's doing all right.
Yeah.
It's interesting that she stayed in Ottawa, because I'm sure, she's clearly had more success than a lot of other bigger city agencies already.
This is true, and she actually reps me as well in Los Angeles. Like, I do have a manager in LA, but all of my success in LA is because of her.
Yeah.
So she somehow has connections in Los Angeles while still being in Ottawa. And she likes being here because there aren't big enough agencies like her here, so she gets all the beautiful people and the raw talents. So why leave somewhere that's untouched and you get all these beauties?
Yeah, because that's what I mean, I've been in and out of Ottawa over years, and I think somebody was even asking me, like, whenever anybody asks me about agents, I'm like, well, there's the one. Like,
right.
I don't even know why there's the one, first of all, but there is the one.
Right.
And clearly that's what happened. I Googled Ottawa talent agencies, and there's her. And I think there was one or two other little ones that maybe does some background work. But, and I've heard about it over the years, and I never really thought about it. I was just like, what is this, a fake little agency or something? Like, I'm like, what is it doing in Ottawa?
And then more films are now filming here. Like, so many Hallmark and Lifetime movies come to film here, so Ottawa's building itself up. And we're getting all the work.
Like Mel Gibson shot here a year or two ago, right?
Right.
One of these, was it Fat Santa maybe? I don't know what he was shooting here.
Yeah, we had some people in that movie.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool. Yeah, because they shoot, a lot of Hallmark things. Like every now and then I'll be like, oh my God, that woman was in town, I didn't know.
And it's a lot shot in Almont, because it's always that small town girl that comes from the big city, like you said. So Almont's the spot. So Almont's hot right now.
Almont's the place. People have been mentioning Almont to me lately. I think I just formed like a Facebook group yesterday for people to hang out and do things in Ottawa, and I'm sure people say they're in Almont, and I'm like, where is that? I'm gonna have to look at a map.
It's like 45 minutes.
Yeah, so maybe I should do a little field trip.
Yeah.
And I could make like a YouTube video, but like, here's the locations as seen on TV kind of thing. It's like,
totally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I could shoot my own little, romantic movie. I'd be like, guy comes back to little, because anybody can shoot something with a phone now.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Okay, let me try to figure out processing everything. So she sent Ryan to LA. She became an agency. So that's when she was still in Cornwall, and then decided to move to Ottawa.
Right.
Just like, and then
she was getting all these people from Ottawa driving to Cornwall. So she's like, I might as well move to Ottawa. Like, these people are literally driving an hour east to come see me.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so she had all people going to Cornwall, which is more insane.
Yeah.
That, in Ottawa,
I can't believe they were doing that.
We've got to go to a smaller town to go to Cornwall.
But they were doing it.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, Cornwall should have been like, no, we'll keep you here. We'll just build you a whole block. We'll name it after you. Like,
they should do that.
They could have been like, it's like Apple or whoever goes to a small town, and then that becomes the whole town is their thing. Like Procter & Gamble is Cincinnati. Okay, so let me think. Oh, so that was grade 12.
Yeah.
When they moved down here. What was your mom doing? Like, how did they wind up in Cornwall originally?
Well, my mom was from Montreal, and then when I was born, they wanted to take me out of like the big city and raise me in a smaller town. My grandparents moved to Cornwall from Montreal as well. They're from Greece originally, but she decided to follow them so I could be raised in a quaint little town.
That's always been my dream. Like, whenever I've dated a girl from a small town or something, I'm like, oh, imagine like just knowing everybody and having that little experience.
Yeah.
Like the girl I met a couple of years ago, she was from a smaller town. Like, where is she from? Avonmore? Have you heard of that?
Yeah. I've passed through a few times.
Yeah, which is like 3 blocks or something. And so like Cornwall for her was the big city. I'd go stay in the hotel in Cornwall, and then I come visit her in Avonmore. So everything's like, it's this Russian doll of smaller and smaller towns.
Yes.
And then I started an agency in Avonmore, and everybody from Cornwall was driving to Avonmore, and so then I moved over there. So, okay, all right, so this is all, oh my gosh, it's like my whole life has been coming together to this moment. Like, so then she moves to Ottawa, so have they always, because they're just like a block from, so that's how you knew where we were.
We literally are right there.
I know, because your agency's right there, so that's how you knew the location.
Yeah.
This is insanity. I think, you must have, maybe on Instagram you mentioned Angie's, and I was like, we'll be near your agent or something.
Yeah.
So I guess you could drop by and visit them. All right, so let me think. Were they always located there? No, because that wasn't even always there. I feel like they used to be in the market or something.
Yeah, we were in the market on York Street. And then Clarence after that, and from Clarence now to Lansdowne Park.
Right, because that's where, that's why I first heard of them or something. I'm sure I walked by and looked at the window or something, and I'm like, one day I'm going to, whatever. Because I used to, like 20 years ago, I started my first job was in Ottawa doing advertising. But yeah, we shot a couple of commercials, but I was acting in them or doing voice. I don't think we had any actors. You probably weren't even in Ottawa at that point, so otherwise we would have shot things with you. But I'm sure any local commercials now are calling Angie and being like, hey, hook us up.
Yeah.
This is so crazy. This is so crazy.
Yeah.
So what's the, what is the talent pool like in Ottawa? Like who, I guess a lot of models, because good looking people can be anywhere. And then, I don't know, like University of Ottawa acting students who want an agent and stuff? Like not a lot of people would stay in Ottawa to act, I don't think.
I mean, random people. Like we get lawyers because really being a lawyer, you're acting.
Right,
we get
right.
a lot of kids from Canterbury, Ashbury.
That's my kids. My sister went to Canterbury.
Yeah.
Okay. And who else is from Ottawa? Isn't Chandler, like from Friends from Ottawa?
Yeah, I think so. And also someone from, oh my God, which show? The Doctor Show.
Oh, yeah, the Asian girl,
Yeah.
Sue.
She went.
Starts with S. Sandra Oh.
Yes, she
Yeah,
went to SRB.
Yeah,
high
yeah.
School.
My other sister went to SRB.
Yeah.
So okay, so yes. So she's on. Is it Grey's
Grey's
Anatomy?
Anatomy, that's it.
Although I think she's got her own show now, something else.
Yes,
Like, that
she's quite busy.
Yeah, she's doing all right. So and then Tom Green's the other Ottawan.
Yes.
He's back in town.
Oh, he is? I met Tom a few years ago.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I met him in a bar, and
Yeah.
then he was hosting community cable shows in Ottawa the same time I was doing that in Toronto and stuff. So I knew of him. People had told me about him. And then he just drove his van across the country from LA to Ottawa.
Wow.
And people are like, you got to find Tom. He's like shooting vlogs at like shawarma places on Bank Street, the same places you go to.
That's awesome.
I know. So
He would do that.
he would, yeah. No, it was like 10 minutes of him just eating a shawarma, and it's got shawarma, chicken.
We have the best shawarmas in Ottawa.
Apparently we do.
No, it's true. I've tried them all.
Okay, so
Even LA can't compare.
wow,
Yeah,
that's
no.
good to know, because I've been working my way down. Like I go to Cedars, they've got a shawarma place down there, and then there's like a few along Bank that I've tried different ones.
The ones in the market are the best.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't even tried those yet.
So good.
All right, I'll have to do that. I saw a poster yesterday. Where was it? I was in Nepean, and there was a poster at a Mediterranean place that said shawarma fries or shawarma poutine or something.
Ooh,
Yeah.
shawarma poutine.
And I think I read an article about that lately, about how it's like a thing in London, Ontario now, because of the different ethnicities has come together there. It's like a classically Canadian kind of
sounds
thing.
great.
So that sounds all right. All right, so where are we? Okay, so Ryan Gosling's gone over to LA. Does he ever like? He would still know your mom, obviously.
Yeah. Like one of our actors, she also lives in Los Angeles. She met him at a gala or like some red carpet event, and it's like, hey, Ryan from Cornwall, you used to be with the Angies. He's like, oh yeah, tell her I said hi.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan from Cornwall.
Yeah.
And he's married to.
Eva Mendes?
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah, they're having little babies and such.
Yeah.
All right. So then they move here. So you're here. Now you're living here in grade 12.
Yeah.
And then you went back to Cornwall. So you brought one of your mom's like actors?
One of the hottest models.
Yeah, of course. Okay,
Yeah.
so now it's making sense.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
how I got him for free.
Right. It's like, here's a gig. You have to come with me. My
Yes.
mom's your agent. Hey, Mom, pick me out. I've got a casting call for you.
Exactly.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're here, and
Yeah.
then you're getting, okay, so now, you're in Diva's
Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol and all of that.
And
So,
the
okay, so,
HBO series.
and The Line.
Yeah.
And this is still high school or university or?
The Line I shot when I was about 20, playing a 17-year-old.
Oh, very nice, very
Because I
nice.
looked younger than my age.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox was playing teenagers when he was 30,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
it's good skill to have.
Yeah.
Actually, how about in the cast of 90210? They were all like 45 when they
Oh,
were supposed to be in high school.
So old.
Yeah, so old.
Yeah.
Or 20 or whatever seems old when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so that's cool. So you were 17 in the line, no, 20 playing 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then what? What did you do for university or whatever? Or did you decide to?
I knew that I was going to be an actor, so I didn't go to university. I just did more workshops and like went to Toronto, did workshops with Armstrong, did Meisner workshops in Montreal, just practiced my craft. And I was also working behind the scenes, so helping out at the agency, answering the phones, learning photography. So I also do photography for the models and actors.
Oh.
So I just learned all aspects and really just developed my resume through that. And jobs came. So like I was working on movies and shows just here and there, and yeah.
From still in Ottawa.
Yeah, still in Ottawa.
Yeah.
So working in Toronto or Montreal, I would drive or fly, and do my thing.
Because that's the thing now. Like, I remember my friend Phil, he was a commercial director, and he met a girl eventually who lived in Calgary, and he's like, you know what, I can still bid on things and travel, but I don't need to be sitting in Toronto waiting for jobs and stuff. So, with the internet now and everything, nobody knows where you are.
I mean, I did move to Toronto for like 8 months, but then I met a guy in Vancouver, so I moved to Vancouver and stayed there for a few years, and did Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce while I was over there, if you've seen that show.
No.
Yeah, so you could check that out.
All right, so that's a show?
Yes.
Where would I see that?
I think, where is it? On Bravo, I think?
Okay. Yeah. I don't sound like the target market for that.
It's a hilarious show, though.
All right, it's still like, it's on now, or it's like...
Yeah, it's still on, and you could watch like on demand.
Okay, all right. Well, I just bought my dad an Apple TV yesterday, so we can do on-demand things now.
There you go.
All right, we'll check it, and now I can be like, I know her!
There you go,
All right, so I'll watch that. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so that's Ottawa. You're doing all these things.
Yeah. And
then you moved to Vancouver for the guy.
Yeah, and then I moved back to Ottawa and worked on my U.S. visa to then move to Los Angeles. And in that process, I booked the movie Birdman.
Birdman?
Yes, that was filmed in Montreal.
It was. I did not know that.
And then won 5 Academy Awards. So you could catch me on Birdman too.
Okay, so and Emma Stone played Michael Keaton's daughter, no?
Yeah.
And then she played, the girlfriend of Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
It's all coming together.
It's all connected.
All right, so you were in Birdman in Montreal.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and watch that now and play Helena.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So then.
After that, I booked another big Hollywood blockbuster called XXX3, Return of Xander Cage with Vin Diesel.
Was that the one with him? Because Ice Cube was the one before that, or Ice, one of the Ices.
Ice Cube, yes, and then XXX3, he came back, and Ice Cube also came back.
Oh.
So it's both of them.
Right, and that's the one where, for some reason, I mean, I haven't seen this, but for some reason I've seen a clip of it, like, he's in like a bar made of ice, or is he wearing snow jackets or something? I don't know.
Not in this one.
Maybe one of them, I don't know.
Yeah.
Somehow I saw a clip of something on YouTube.
Yeah.
And there's one he's surfing, maybe that's the opening. I don't know, I've never seen any of them, but okay. I should, now I will.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like, that's like the modern James Bond doing cool things. Like he's a...
Samuel Jackson's in it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that was done in Toronto.
That was shot in Toronto?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I like to think of myself as Vin Diesel. Like, that's the closest...
Okay, I could see that.
Like, it's, if you squint...
You just need the tattoos.
Does he have tattoos everywhere?
Everywhere.
I don't understand that. I was thinking about that yesterday, because I think I saw a picture of The Rock on Instagram. He's got tattoos everywhere, and I'm just like, it's a lot of work. Like, it just kind of, now every character has to have those tattoos for some reason, or you gotta, but you can't paint his whole body. Because I was just thinking about, like, he's in Black Adam now. It's like, I guess, is he just not shirtless? But he has to be shirtless, because he was on Instagram talking about, I'm trying to get in the best shape of my life to impress you guys. So, like, if you're gonna work out that hard, you have to be shirtless for some reason.
Right, he was shirtless a lot in XXX3.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean,
Vin Diesel, that is.
Oh, Vin Diesel, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've always wondered about him. Like, I know he's known as the muscular guy, but then people say, oh, he's gotten fat or something.
Oh, he's ripped and he's huge.
Okay.
He's tall and huge.
I feel like him and I would, he's another guy that I've messaged pointlessly on Instagram, hoping he'll be like, yeah, let's be friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel he posts like sort of inspirational things, like, hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and whatever.
Yeah.
So, all right, so he's going to be one of my friends as well. I've got a list of people I want to be friends with. Maybe he'll be on the podcast. You can put in a good word for me.
I will.
Okay, so then, and Vin Diesel, right? And I was researching his name once, and I think his name was Irvin, but he just shortened it to Vin.
His real name is something else. I totally forget. Vin was like, or maybe Irvin was his middle name.
Yeah, it was somewhere in there.
Yeah, but his first name is something completely different.
Right, it's probably Bartholomew Irvin Horowitz or something. No, I'm Vin Diesel, which is because I mean it's hard. Like a name means a lot, I think. Like Tom Cruise, you say Tom Cruise. Like if his name was Thomas Mapother, would he be Tom Cruise? I don't think so. And so that's what I keep trying to come up with a stage name, but I'm always trying to picture like, what if I play James Bond? Like if my stage name is like Carrot Top or whatever, like is it going to look good as James Bond? So, I feel like the window's closing on me playing James Bond, but I
want to be a Bond girl.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah. Halle Berry style.
Yeah. All right, we got to make that happen. I guess it's a bit late for the current one, but the next one.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, get your mom on it. I'll call her.
Okay, you can call her too.
I'll be your agent's agent or something.
Manager.
Yeah, I'll manage. I'll call your. Yeah.
You can call my manager to manage the situation.
Right. Do you have a manager,
I
or
do
is your
have
mom
a
the manager?
No, I have
Separate.
a manager.
And so like a separate managing company, or is it like?
So I have a manager in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
and my brother is my manager here. So they're connected, my mom and my brother. So
Right,
they
right.
hook me up.
Wow. So this is, you got to stay friends with your family here. If you ever have like a falling out, you're like, oh, this is going to ruin my
We're
career.
very tight. My brother's name's tattooed on my wrist.
Oh,
so
all right.
We're good.
Let's see, what does that say there?
It's his name in Greek, Dimitri.
Oh, Dimitri.
Dimitri, and I'm Helena, and he has mine tattooed on his wrist.
Oh my
So
gosh.
we're connected forever.
My first boss in Ottawa, his name is Giannis.
Oh yeah,
So
that's my cousin. My cousin's name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's so not your cousin, but a lot of
No.
Giannis's out there.
Yeah. It
Giannis.
means John.
John.
That's
Okay.
the English version.
So yeah, it's just the same as there's a lot of Johns out there.
Yeah, it's the
and stuff.
same. Yeah.
I used to do his accent, like when we had a comedy troupe and stuff. I'd be like, "Oh, look at me, I'm Giannis. I want to drink apple juice." I don't know why I kept talking about apple juice, but it's funny to say with an
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're in Vancouver. So yeah, okay, getting an agent or getting the green card, like that's always the holy grail. Like
Yeah.
my friend got that. He's a voice actor and he's got a lawyer that specifies in that. And he's always like, okay, well, assemble every article that's ever been written about you,
Yes.
argue why you're special.
Yes.
But it's not easy to get.
It's not. So it took me about a year and a half to assemble everything because I've been acting since 10.
Right.
And here we are in like 2013, years later, where I have to go back in time and look at newspaper articles from like albums, like old school style. Like it's not online. So I
Yeah.
literally had to dig everything up.
Wow.
So it took me about a year and a half to get my status.
And then, so you just apply and they're like, all right, you're good enough.
Yeah, because I've been acting since I was 10 and here
Right.
I'm in my 20s now, so I've been working a lot.
Right,
So
right.
It was pretty easy after that.
Wow, so that's
Yeah.
cool. And then you're like, okay, I've got it.
Yeah.
And then, so that you waited until you got it to go down to LA? Because you can't really do anything until you have it there.
Right, so I didn't, even after I had it, I didn't move until like a year or so later. So I was just being submitted for auditions in
Right,
LA.
you were
like,
now you can legally
I
work, but you
can.
don't have to physically be there.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was just doing self-tapes, and like if I had a callback or something, I'd fly down and meet the director.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2017, I was testing out the waters to stay more permanently, so I stayed at my godmother's house in Venice Beach, and I decided, well, let me fill my day and like go on The Price is Right for fun. So I called up my friend, we went on The Price is Right, and I got called up, and then I won a car. So after I won the car, I asked the people backstage doing the paperwork, like, so how much would it be to take this car to Canada? And they're like, you'd have to pay half the amount of the car. I'm like, well, what if I just kept it here in LA? They're like, you just have to pay the tax. So that's literally what did it, and that's how I moved to LA, because now I had a car. And I sold my truck here to move to LA, so I didn't have any wheels. So the universe was like, here's wheels, stay.
You have to stay, and it'll be more expensive to move back.
Right,
That's
so-
how I got a condo, or I moved once. I won a TV and a draw, and I'm like, well, I can't live in the space apartment with my fancy TV. I got to get a nicer place for my TV. That's insanity.
So the universe will hook you up when it's time, you know?
Apparently, like, is it
Really
that easy?
well.
You say, I want to go on Price is Right. Okay, I call and
Yeah,
Don't-
you get
don't-
free tickets. You could just go online, and it was like
Oh,
for
right.
the next day that I got it too.
Oh, so like as an audience member, but you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know if you're gonna get called up. That was
But you
just
did get called up.
chance, yeah.
But you don't even know while you're sitting there until they just go,
Yeah,
Helena.
come on down.
So you could have easily just sat there and not done anything.
Right, but I
Oh.
got called down, and I went to the showcase showdown.
Oh, and is that where you spin the big wheel?
So I was a top winner in the big wheel. So
Oh.
I went to the showcase, and then I was overbid. Like we both overbid, me and the other guy, but my options were 2 cars and a motorcycle, which I passed to the other guy because I was a top winner and I already won a car and I don't need 2 more cars and a motorcycle.
No, of course not.
So then my option was a trip to the Maldives, a trip to Vancouver, and a trip to Jamaica, and I overbid that. So I didn't win that.
Man.
But I still got my car, and then the thing that I bid on to get up were a couple Fitbits, so I gave that as Christmas gifts to my parents.
Yeah, and you've been to Vancouver already anyways.
And yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And Jamaica. So I'm
And
good.
Jamaica. Okay, yeah, so it's
Yeah,
whatever. You'd
fine.
rather stay in LA. You don't
Yeah.
even want to leave.
Right.
The second you go on your little trip, they'll be like, oh, we're casting you in a movie. Too bad
Yeah,
you're not
Murphy's
here.
Law, yeah.
Oh my god. This is insane. This is
Yeah.
insane. So you got your car.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like going on, because if Vanna White was on Price is Right.
She was?
Yeah, I think that's on Instagram. They've got,
Oh.
remember that time? It's just a picture of her as a contestant
That's
or
crazy.
whatever. So like all the big famous people, because I guess everybody's in LA and they're like,
Yeah.
here's what are we doing today?
Just
And-
something to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's insanity. Okay, let me think. All right, so now we won Price is Right.
Yeah.
We won a car. Now we're still in LA. You've been staying with your godmother.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
In Venice Beach.
Yep.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's you walk along the beach at night or during the day and just like
Oh,
watch.
all the time.
Yeah.
Not at night because there are a lot of homeless at night and gangs.
Yeah, yeah.
But in the day, for sure, I was at the beach every single day.
Oh man. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's cool. So you're living the dream, my
Yeah.
dream, anyways.
Yeah.
And then,
And then I had an audition for a lead in a TV series called Chronicles of Jessica Wu to play Jessica Wu. It's an Amazon show, and I booked that. And that was filming in Burbank, which is like an hour drive away from Venice Beach. So that's what made me move to Burbank, because it's like next to Warner Brothers, Universal Studios. And so I got an apartment right over there. So now I have my own place in LA.
wow, Burbank.
In Burbank.
Yeah, that's where you see it. Actually, that's why I've seen it lately, because 4 months ago, I saw on Twitter people were saying Jon Stewart was like doing an audition call for writers or whatever, and I couldn't find. Everybody's talking about packet day or something, and I kept Googling it to figure out what this was, how you could apply, and finally somebody told me that there's this website called Hollylist. You have to like pay to get on to see so I paid like the $6 to get on. And then I just forgot about it, so I've been paying the stupid $6 for the past 4 months.
Okay.
And I can't get a refund. And now I'm thinking, it's a waste, because I could have paid $20 more for a more memory on my dad's Apple TV, but I'm like, no, I should save $20, but I just wasted $24. So then yesterday I was just applying for every job I could see just to get my money's worth on the website, and a lot of those things says Burbank,
Burbank.
executive assistant at Lucasfilm, Burbank,
Yeah.
NBC Productions, Burbank.
Everything's there. So I'm glad that I moved closer to all the productions, so I don't have to drive as far.
Yeah, because that's the one thing. Well, it's not the one thing that's been keeping me from being a Hollywood star or being in LA, but that was my always fear. Like wherever I lived there, it's like, now you have to drive 3 hours to get to an
Yeah.
audition or do something.
Definitely. If you
Yeah.
live on the beach, that's for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so you're right close to everything. They can be
Yeah.
like, our lead just fell and broke her foot. Well, I'm here. I'll walk over.
I'll walk over, literally, Warner Brothers is my backyard.
That is insanity.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So things worked out for you from the little girl in Cornwall, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're there. So then, and Ryan's there too, probably.
He's there.
You could
I
hang out.
can't wait to meet him again. I'm sure we're going to work together on some movie, and I'd be like, yo, Ryan,
Yes.
what's
Do I
up?
look familiar?
Yeah. Remember me?
Yeah.
It's happening. It's
Yeah.
happening.
She's like, Angie? It's like, no, I'm mini Angie.
Yeah.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
Okay, well, and then, so you've got the blue check mark on Instagram.
Not yet.
No, you don't?
Not
You just got a
yet.
lot of followers.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know, so yeah, you never know with these things, but I guess they just give it to you. I don't know how you get one of those.
Yeah, me neither. But it takes a lot of work, because I know some celebrities and like astrologers, famous astrologers even, and they don't have it yet.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
it's kind of random. I've got one on Facebook for some reason.
Yeah, it's random.
Yeah, but have you applied? You have to apply.
I didn't apply. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they randomly find you. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
that's how Twitter does it.
Okay.
But on Instagram, they've got a new thing where you
have
go
to apply?
you go in your settings and you send them a picture of your ID. So I just did that like last week, and it says no, but you can apply again in 30 days. So yeah, I'm sure you've got your green card packet again or
I'll
whatever.
have to apply now.
But maybe it's almost cooler not to have it, because then you're like, I'm just cool and I don't need it, and who cares? And
Well, though I see, like, there was one fan page that went up, and I was like, oh, should I report it? Am I feeling honored or not?
Yeah, no,
so
you're
when
right.
that starts to happen a little bit more, then I really should get the blue check mark.
because once people start impersonating you and stuff, I
Yeah.
guess that's why it's useful to have.
Yeah.
Like even I've had weirdos like make a fake Josh thing, and it's
Yeah.
like, so at
Yeah.
some point you're like, because you don't. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got like, I don't know, 20, like over 20,000 followers and stuff.
Yeah.
And how do you think they find you and stuff? Do they like, they see you on TV or they look you up, or?
I think either that or they just randomly stumble upon my pictures.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Some
okay.
of my hashtags.
Yeah, it all
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
All right, I'm going to become a beautiful actress, and then I will just get 20,000 followers automatically. Or I can I should just call myself Vin Diesel or something, and
There you go.
people won't know or
There you
whatever.
go.
Or I could just.
Or his brother.
He has a brother?
Well,
or
you
just
could
pretend I'm
say
his
you
brother.
are, yeah.
Yeah. I was for a while there. I was saying I was Jeff Bezos' brother, but I might as well go for Vin Diesel. That's cool. Not everybody knows who Jeff Bezos is or cares.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Vin Diesel's little brother. Yeah, because I have this thing where I've been meeting the siblings of kind of famous people. Like I've been chatting with Mark Zuckerberg's sister, and I think I said hi to Ben Stiller's sister, and it's siblings of celebrities I seem to have an okay time with meeting or chatting with or something. So maybe I just need to be one.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
Ryan
All right.
Gosling's sister's still in Cornwall. You could stalk her.
Oh, I didn't know.
She's there. Look
He
her
has a
up.
sister. That's like the Star Wars line. Obi-Wan was wise to keep her from us. So Ryan Gosling has a sister that lives in Cornwall.
Yeah.
Who's the other? I just remembered some other sibling that is somebody that you're like, oh, that's a thing. I can't remember. Oh, the woman whose podcast I listen to. I know her sister. That's right. But what's she doing in Cornwall?
Well, his family's still in Cornwall.
That's right. So they're just kind of. I mean, I guess that's what happens. Like, I've always wondered what would happen if you become like a Ryan Gosling. Like, is your family still? They're
still
still a
there.
family where they are.
Yeah.
Tom Green's family's still here. They're not packing up, moving to LA or whatever. That's interesting. Is she an actor? Well, obviously not.
No. I don't know what she's doing, but she's there.
Wow. That's interesting. Well, maybe, see, that's the thing. All right, I got to get in with Ryan Gosling's sister. Oh, Corey Haim's sister. That's who I was talking to on Twitter. She's in Toronto. Yeah. And I kind of looked like him as a kid too, so I feel like I'm a bond with him.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Her name is Corey Haim, and so I was talking to her for a while, and I never put the two and two together.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. And then your brother, if I meet him, I can be like, oh, you have the famous sister.
Well, he's about to be famous himself because he's a manager and he manages R&B artists and NBA players. So he's actually staying at my place right now in LA, doing his little management thing and watching my apartment.
Man, you guys are living the coolest life ever. This is insanity.
Yeah.
Managing all these players. I'm trying to think of who that reminds me of. I don't know. I was in some networking webinar in the summer and stuff, and I was talking to, what's his name? Spark, like Justin Bieber's kind of manager.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, it's not Scooter. Yeah, Scooter
Scooter
Braun.
Scooter, yeah.
Right, and so I looked him up. I'm like, oh, this guy's like, kind of like you wouldn't necessarily know him, but he's got like 1 million followers because of who he works with, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or who's somebody else like that I met? So I was right over here. My mom's doing an art show, and she's got some art in, and I was looking at her paintings a couple months ago, and then some family, they're all masked up. They're like, oh, isn't this woman, like, didn't she write for the paper? I'm like, yeah, that's my mom. She's a journalist. Like, oh, cool. And then they left. My mom's like, oh, that's blah, blah. And I'm like, what? So the son that she was with is like Justin Bieber's guitarist.
Oh, wow.
And I looked him up, and he's got like 1 million followers and travels around. And I'm like, oh, and I just seen a little video, this fundraising video for the Jewish camp that we all went to in Ottawa. And he was, in the video, he was saying, I love camp so much, and I had to go on tour. Like, for my last year, I was supposed to be like a senior counselor or whatever. And he regrets that. And I'm like, camp is so much fun that you wish you had skipped going on tour with Justin Bieber to do camp, and that makes me wish I had done camp more or whatever.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so there's people that are kind of, they become attached to, it's the circle kind of thing, and then you're in the circle. Wow. Well, now I'm kind of in the circle. I feel like I'm 1 or 2 degrees from Ryan Gosling now because of you.
There you go.
And your brother.
Yeah.
So your brother is kind of like the Jerry Maguire now kind of thing, like the big manager guy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So maybe I can be your brother's manager. I don't know. Figuring it out.
Manager to the manager.
Manager to the manager. That's the thing. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I guess we should wrap it up, right? That's 47 minutes. Usually I go like maybe half an hour before I'm bored, but I could talk to you forever, but we'll just save that for another episode.
There you go.
So I think this has been both entertaining and informative. So the lesson is, if you want to be a big actress, have your mom start a major talent agency and send you to some gigs, and then go on Price is Right and win a car, and then stay in LA. Easy, anybody can do it.
Fine, or you can just email Angie's Models and Talent, and she can hook you up.
That's right, if you want to try it out. I mean, that's what I did, and she
Yeah.
hooked me up, and I was in a little movie kind of thing. So now you can do it too. So that's here, it's a plug for the company.
There you go, Angie's Models and Talent, and her email is angies@amtimanagement.com.
So Angie's Model Talent Inc., is that what it stands for?
Yeah.
So cool. Now, see, this changes everything. Now when I walk by the office and walk around Ottawa, like everything is, my whole brain, like it's my whole life is different now. It's like I've been red pilled or blue pilled or whatever the saying is.
Yeah.
All right, and if people, at the end of podcasts, people go, oh, and how can people find you or whatever? Do you want to plug yourself or whatever?
Yeah, sure. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, but Instagram mostly at Helena Alexis, HelenaAlexis.
And that's it's like a double Greek name.
Yeah, I'm so Greek. I'm named after my grandmother, Helena. Well, Eleni is the Greek version, and then Alexis is a Greek name, but I was named after Alexis Carrington on Dynasty.
Oh, that's a good one too. So
Yeah, because my mom wanted me to have that edge, that bitchness to me.
Right, and do you?
Well, a little.
You're playing.
I'm a Gemini, so I have my two sides, Alexis and Helena.
Yeah, and you're playing the pseudo-villain in the movie right now, so
yeah.
you've got that edge.
I got edge.
Yeah. Oh my God, Helena Alexis. Is that the name you go by, or do you go by like a fuller, like what's your stage name? If you're on
Helena Alexis, that's it.
That's it. See, that's good, because they're both easy to spell. It's not like Schwarzenegger. How do you spell now?
Yeah.
It's like, and you've got the at on it, so you don't have to be I am Helena Alexis, like you're the only one.
There's literally no one else Helena Alexis.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Almost any name, there's a million Will Smiths or whatever, so now you got to buy the at from someone or whatever.
No. I'm set.
That's crazy. Okay, so now the bagel store buzzers are going, so that's our cue to... and so come down to Kettleman's, get a bagel, and be interviewed by me. Or maybe she's my new co-host. No, you'll be out of here. When are you going back to LA?
Probably mid-July. I'll stay for a few more weeks.
All right, well, when I get my second shot, it's going to be finally time to move to LA.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting in Starbucks writing my screenplays.
There you go.
And that'll
swing
be...
by.
Oh, I'll swing
Come
by.
to Burbank.
Yeah, I will come to Burbank. I wanted to be, whenever I'm there, I haven't been there for years, but I always imagined I'd be like Perez Hilton, just sort of sitting in the, a coffee bean or whatever, and just writing my celebrity blog, and then people coming by and going, oh my God, it's the famous Perez Hilton kind of thing. So I just need a good stage name like Perez Hilton.
There you go.
Well, next episode, I'll run all my stage names by you to see what you think.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks for being on whatever this show is called.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.